Hi everyone, welcome to the final of the MTG DeaLS Legacy Tournament. I'm Danny Batterman.
I'm Ethan Walker.
And here we have Gabe on Rug Delver and Nick on Dredge. I just finished losing to Gabe in the semifinals, excuse me. It's a pretty stock list. 4 Dazes, Force of Wills, Nimble Mongoose, Delvers, you know.
Now, I know Nick did something interesting with his Dredge deck. He took out Breakthroughs, which is usually considered a staple, and put in Street Wraiths in their place.
I've also heard he's not running any Dread Returns main deck.
No Dread Returns main deck. I don't believe any sideboard either, although I'll need that to be confirmed.
We should have the deck list for a moment. Let me get it. One moment, please.
Yeah, there are no main deck or sideboard reanimation spells.
Alright, so basically that means his game plan is just grinding out zombies through Icarid and, you know, trying to overwhelm them that way?
Exactly. He's also got Ashen Ghouls in there.
Huh. What's your opinion?
In the sideboard.
What's your opinion on that? Do you think that's better than the standard list in this meta, or?
Well, I don't know enough about Dredge to have an opinion.
Fair enough. Yep. They're still shuffling up. Looks like they're close. They've presented and are should get underway shortly. Oof. Nick gets a 12. That's probably gonna...
He's running pretty hot tonight, I think.
Yeah, it seems like it. And...
With those cool sleeves, too.
Oof. Heartbreaker.
Excitement from the beginning.
I'm assuming Nick is going to be on the play, but he might choose to be on the draw to give himself a discard outlet, knowing that Gabe is on Rug. He might not want to get his initial turn 1 play countered, because that will slow him down immensely.
Yeah.
It's a bit riskier, though, if Gabe is running Scavenging Oozes in his main deck, because that card, if you're just on the cleanup step Dredge plan, will wreck you.
Scavenging Ooze is a really strong card against so many different strategies.
I think that is actually one of the reasons why the Manaless Dredge that was popular when Mental Misstep was a thing has faded into obscurity.
Yeah, Dredge got a boost when they printed Faithless Looting.
Yeah, I remember when I first saw that card spoiled after the on the mothership. I was just like, did Wizards just totally forget about Dredge? Alright, I'm actually looking at Gabe's deck list right now, and yeah, there is no Scavenging Ooze main deck, so...
What about sideboard?
Sideboard, Gabe's Grave Hit is some Grafdigger's Cage, Tormod's Crypt, Grim Lavamancer, which you could bring in to shoot itself and remove the bridges. We'll have to see how clever he is there. Nothing other than that.
I'm in Nick's corner for this one.
It's actually, now that I'm looking at it, it looks like Gabe was originally running 2 Tormod's Crypts in his sideboard, and he cut one at the last minute. Wonder if he's going to be kicking himself over that before the day's over.
Yeah, let's see if that'll cost him.
Alright. Gabe has mulled to 6. He's got a hand of
Pierce.
Volcanic Island, Spell Pierce, Daze, Tarmogoyf, and Chain Lightning, and Ponder. That's risky on 6. The counter spells are mostly blanks against Dredge, especially Nick's version, which doesn't run Dread Return. And he doesn't have any green mana. Oh, looks like they kept. They're off the races. Turn 1 Putrid Imp. That's pretty much the best play Dredge can have turn 1. At least Nick's list.
Got some dredgers in the graveyard, and
Looks like Gabe drew a second Pierce, I think. Oh no, he drew a Delver. Wow, what a master. Seriously, when we were playing in the semis, Delver turn 1, both games. Blind Flip game 2. Why did they print that card?
you know, one of those Leads off with a ponder.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I wonder what he's trying to accomplish there.
If I get a Lava Mancer, it would be like unlock.
Well, doesn't like
Shuffles
that.
it back.
No lands. Makes total sense.
Lava Mancer that kills his shit.
Seems like this is going to be a strong start for Nick,
Well,
depending on what
see.
he's got.
Yeah, I'm very curious the concept of Nick's hand. I'm assuming he has at least one card with Dredge in it, because it is pretty much an auto mulligan unless you do. Oh, there we go. We can get a shot at Nick's hand.
Okay.
It's 2 Bridge from Below, a Careful Study, a Street Wraith, and a Stinkweed Imp.
Good eye.
So he's going to discard the Stinkweed Imp to the Putrid Imp on upkeep to play around potential grave shenanigans. Dredge 5. Faithless Looting, Narcomoeba, Golgari Thug, and 2 irrelevant cards. Land, and I'm guessing a Careful Study?
Yes.
Okay. He's then going to discard it again to the Imp to Imp. And he's going to cycle Street Wraith, going down to 18, I believe, to do so.
Correct.
Then going to Dredge 5 again, so that's going to be 10 cards in his graveyard in one turn. And if I were him, I would probably at this point discard the bridges. Yep. Oh, discard Stinkweed Imp first. I would discard the in for 2. Okay. Second main, what I would do if I were him, and I would discard the bridges. I would then probably flashback Cabal Therapy to see what Gabe is working with, get some zombies in the process. Yep.
There we go.
I wonder if he's listening to me. Hopefully not. And then, if possible, if the coast is clear, I would go for the Cabal Therapy. I wonder what he named. I guess it looks like he named Spell Pierce. Alright. That's Delver, Chain Lightning, Daze, Goyf, and Force. Okay. Must have just drawn the Force off the Ponder. We didn't see that before. Looks like he passed.
The zombies begin to assemble.
Dredge is just not a fair deck against blue-based counter decks, because they don't even need to play a spell, and it just blanks. Like, Gabe is sitting there with, looks like he just drew another Spell Pierce with 3 dead cards now in his hand. I mean, he can, at this point, play a Delver and then Chain Lightning it, but he'd be so far behind with that because he's just stuck on 1. That would just be so bad.
To break 2 bridges. Yeah.
Yeah, but at that point, Nick's already got 5 power on the board. He might have more,
There's another reason why this
if there are more Cabal Therapies and Narcomoebas.
Which there no doubt will be.
Yeah, this is brutal. Yeah, especially, I don't think he'll get the lands to flashback Faceless Looting.
This match doesn't look like it's going to be close at this point.
Oh, geez, there's an Icarus in the graveyard, too? Jeez. Yeah, he's going to remove the Street Wraith. It's an added bonus to Street Wraith. It dredges for free, and it's black, unlike Ataxian Probe, which gives you useful information, but it doesn't get to pitch to Icarus. He's going to dredge 5. It's going to be a second Icarus, and another Thug. Wow.
Brutality.
Gotta admit, I'm kind of surprised he's doing discarding Thug main phase. Maybe he just decided not to care. Oh, also keeping his zombies back. That's interesting. Surprised he's just not swinging for the fences. Oh, never mind. That makes sense. He doesn't want to kill the Delver. I didn't see that Gabe played that. I apologize. Alright. Yep. Alright, so he's gonna make the zombies. He's going to stack the triggers correctly so he gets 2 zombies before his bridges are exiled. Gabe is still taking 2. He's down to 16 now to Nick's, I believe, 18. Can't necessarily see the shot from this angle. Up. He's going for the Careful Study. Making him go for that Force.
I support this motion.
I mean, I don't see how you... Yeah, Gabe has to Force here. This is... Yeah. Pitching the Spell Pierce. Going down to 15. And... should be the turn. Yep, Gabe draws. Yeah, he's got nothing. He's got double Goyf, Chain Lightning, Daze. That's not going to do anything. Especially with two more Icarus jumping out of the graveyard next turn. That's...
Yeah, read that.
Yeah, that's 16 points of power. He's got a Chain Lightning the Putrid Imp if he wants to hope to survive. Double checking if there are any bridges in the graveyard.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. Imp down, even though that's just more Icarus food now. 2 Icarus come out. Yeah, removing the Imp and probably a Thug. Yep. Dredging the Street Wraith.
I have a lot of respect for both these guys.
Yeah, Gabe, I've been playing against Gabe for a while. He's been playing... Oh, that calls it. I've been playing against Gabe for a long time. He plays Rug in every single format he can play it, and he actually finished in the top 2 of a vintage tournament with Rug. Just with Delvers and everything is just what you think of, but, with power. And, I'm sure if there was some sort of Rug Delver deck in Standard, he'd play that. My guess is he just plays blue-white. You know Nick better than I do. Has he been playing Dredge for long? Or?
He actually just recently picked up Dredge, but he really ran with it. He was quite natural with it.
Makes sense. Do you know if he started with the Dread Returnless version, or because that's a really interesting feature. I haven't seen that game 1. I've seen people board them out, but
I believe he did start that way.
Huh. I'll have to talk with him after. All right. So yeah. Gabe's going to his sideboard. He's looking at the 2 Grim Lavancers, the 2 Cages, and the Eternal Script, like I pointed out earlier. Oh, and the Vendonian Click. I don't know if I agree with that.
No, he took the click out.
Yeah, I was gonna say the click just seems awful against Dredge. They get to draw a card. Yeah, I'm trying to see what Nick's sideboarding in. His sideboard is. His sideboard is 2 Tarnished Citadels, an Undiscovered Paradise, 4 Nature's Claim, 3 Ashen Ghoul, 3 Fairy Macabre, an Ancient Grudge, and an Array of Revelation. My guess is he's boarding in a couple more lands because of the fact that...
Oh, that's what he's boarding out.
Oh, wow, that is very convenient. Thank you. Thank you.
He can't hear you say thank you.
Yeah. I actually actively disagree with taking out that Icarid. Everything I've learned about Dredge that's how I started the format, was that Icarid is one of the best cards to help you recover after your graveyard gets nuked.
Now, I believe he probably boarded in those Ashen Ghouls.
Makes a lot of sense.
Do you know the Oracle text of Ashen Ghoul?
Off the top of my head, no, but as Apple would say, there's an app for that. Ashen Ghoul. Alright, so Ashen Ghoul is interesting. It is 4 black mana. It's a zombie. It has haste. It's a 3/1, and you can spend 1 black mana to return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. You can activate it only during your upkeep and only if there are 3 or more creature cards above Ashen Ghoul. It's originally printed back from Ice Age. So my guess, if he's bringing in those Ashen Ghouls, he's probably bringing in some more lands. But Ashen Ghoul doesn't seem as good as Icarid against getting your graveyard nuked, because you need 3 cards above it. So...
Well...
he's probably also bringing in Nature's Claims and maybe an Ancient Grudge. I think that he's going to be leaving the Ray at home, because I can't think of any enchantments that Rug would bring in unless they decide to just shotgun for Leyline of the Voids. Uncastable Leyline of the Voids.
Yeah.
A card that I think has fallen out of favor in the Dredge sideboard, but I would personally like to see more of, is Pithing Needle. I think that is very versatile, not only in shutting down hate, but in shutting down game plans of a lot of decks right now. And it would come in handy here against every single card Gabe is bringing in, except for the Cages.
Pithing Needle, I hate that card.
Well, you're a Belcher player. You would hate that card. That's exactly why I think Pithing Needle should be in the sideboard. It's like, oh, I'm playing against Belcher. I can just bring in my Pithing Needles. Haha. And now their Goblin plan has to come out. They have to come at me, but my plan beats theirs if they try to fight me in tokens. You just don't sound happy that I'm telling people this, do you?
It's okay. Belcher can still reign supreme.
That it can. Oh. Gabe flipped his Force of Wills. That's surprising. That's actually, I'm very surprised. Maybe he took out the Spell Pierces.
Oh,
there's a shot of our head judge today. He did a pretty good job this tournament.
I agree.
Saying hi to everyone back home. Yeah.
Today has been a great day.
Yeah, we've had 55 players come out for 6 rounds of Legacy. We had a pretty diverse top 8. We had, I believe, 2 Maverick decks, a Hive Mind deck, a Metalworker deck, Rug and Dredge, obviously, a kind of old-school bug land still with Pernicious Deeds and Lilianas and all that stuff, and we had, I guess, me, not intentionally putting myself last, who was playing Omniscience, but with Esper colors for Academy Rector.
Like that deck a lot.
It's fun. Totally.
And
Alright, looks like we're about ready to start up game 2. Assuming Gabe is going to be on the play here. We've got a land, 2 discard outlets, and a card with Dredge.
For Nick there.
That's a snap keep for Nick, if I ever had to say. Remember, it's... Ooh, wow, that is double Lavamancer, Lightning Bolt Daze, 2 lands, and a Mongoose for Gabe. That would also probably be a snap keep on Gabe's part, if I were him. Go turn 1 Lavamancer, Daze your discard outlet. That's just brutal. Then if he could follow up with a Wasteland... Oh, no, sending it back. Wow, very surprising.
he wanted an artifact.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Although, I wouldn't mulligan to 6 to get one.
I could see it. I mean, you know...
He only has 3 in there. His odds of getting one right now are... I don't know what they are.
Off the top of my head, it's... Yeah, I don't know either. I can't do basic math.
It doesn't seem super great, though.
No, that was actually... I'm very surprised he went for that. That seemed perfectly serviceable. I mean... Especially if you drew a Wasteland, that game was just... over. Well, not over, but it would set Nick way behind. Especially if you start getting down with Mongoose beats. 1-1s will get there. I have definitely... Actually, the last time I played against Dredge in a tournament, it was against Nick. I used Surgical Extraction on all 3 of his cards with Dredge, and he ended up beating me down with 1-1s, just Putrid Imps and Narcomoebas.
Wow.
Because I was stuck on lands. I was stuck on 1. I was just like, no Terminus. Oh, I think he's going... hand's a bit better, I guess. I mean, that's Delver, Mongoose, Wasteland, Misty Rainforest, Spell Pierce, Daze. So he could go turn 1 fetch land. He can go turn 1 Delver. Yep, that's what he's going to do. He's going to keep that. Oh, no, he's not going to lead with the Delver. He's just going to keep Spell Pierce up. Yep. Land. Yeah, there's Cavern. Cabal Therapy. I'm assuming he's going to be targeting himself with that. Which he'll then ideally next turn get to Faithless Looting. Gabe's thinking, oh no, targeted Gabe, wow.
I like the Delver. That is one of the checklist cards that's been altered.
Yeah, Gabe's been playing with those a lot, but obviously didn't hit off the therapy. Probably could be kicking himself now a little bit because he knows, because that Wasteland's going to come in and time walk him for at least 2 turns, because unless he draws another land, that's going to be... He's not going to have a discard outlet.
That's rough.
Until cleanup step. He's got 6 cards in hand right now, so...
And a clock on the table.
Yeah. Let's see how lucky Gabe is or in terms of that blind flip, because he's got no action. There's a Grave Troll. 7 cards in hand, that's not going to do it. You could try cycling Street Wraith to get a land to go for Faithless Looting, but... I don't know if I like that play. Oh. Free Snickers plug. Ooh. Yeah, Gabe likes the pass. Gabe really likes the pass. Alright, trigger? Is he up? No, he's not that good at Magic. He doesn't get to flip.
Well, he gets something probably even better.
Oh, he's got a Ponder. He's flipping next turn. Oh, and he's got a Tormod Script in hand? When did he draw that?
He just drew that.
He just drew that?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's better than flipping Delver.
Wow.
Delver
He's
can
happy
flip
about
later.
that. Oh, he's probably just going to Ponder and set up the Delver, too. Then he's going to drop Correct. Oof. Oof, brutal. Especially because Nick has to rely on the cleanups. He's going to have to... he's going to get to time walk him for 3 turns in a row with a flipped Delver coming up. Oh, and there's a Cage? Oh, that's just... He's going to put Cage on top and then flip his Delver, and it's just going to be... then he's going to lay Crypt, and it's just going to be over.
Okay.
Oof, oof.
Now we're hoping for...
Oh, I was gonna say. I was gonna say he almost misplayed that. I should be putting. I could actually arguably see leaving Cage as the top card because it's so important that he doesn't want to get it therapied.
His decision here is intentional.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, he's protecting his Cage from Cabal Therapy because he knows he can't play it this turn.
There are so many factors in these games.
There's the Crypt. And he's gonna draw. And he's going to be drawing a... I can't tell what that card he just drew is. It's over on the far left, I know that much. Looks like a Cephalid Coliseum.
Good eye.
Good, but not. Yep, he goes with cleanup. Yeah. Gabe's gonna be drawing his Graph Digger's Cage now. Doesn't even need to look with Delver. He's probably just gonna run it. And then, yeah, attack for 1. Yeah, he doesn't even need to crypt here because the cage will just lock Nick out of options. Yep. And if he does somehow find an answer, he can just crypt it away. Nick is in dire straits here. Can you think of a way? Can you think of some outs here? Or
No.
I mean, runner, land, nature's claim. Oh, cycling straight wraith. Yeah, makes sense.
Did he have Ancient Grudge in his sideboard?
Yeah, but you can't flashback with Graph Digger's Cage out. I mean, he's got to draw. He's got to draw land. Oh, there's Careful Study. I mean, not what he wants to do, but it's what he's got to do. He's got to dig for a Rainbow Land and Nature's Claim on that Graph Digger's Cage, and then he's got to play around Crip on top of that. And he's got to play through Counter Magic, because we know Gabe has at least a Daze. Yep. Daze to Careful Study.
There's the days.
Yep. Yeah, flip Delver. Big surprise. Drawing Thought Scour. Replay Trop. Yep. In for 3. That's a quick clock. I don't know what Nick is at, but it's probably going to be dropping rapidly. Especially because he has to pay life to use that Coliseum. Okay, it looks like Nick's at 12 to Gabe's 19. Oh, and there's a Mongoose. That's it. There's a land. That helps. Faithless Looting. Yep. Can't daze that. Don't have any. There was a friend of mine, Tony, who was running a blue-red Delver list with Jace's Phantasm in the main. It was based around that. He didn't do that well today, but I really do like the idea of it, and I think it would actually be excellent in both of these matchups because you'd be having 1-mana Shivan Dragons.
Wow.
Gabe's got to read Ashen Ghoul. That's an old one.
Maintaining graveyard order is important in this match.
That's why Graveyard Order is still a rule in Legacy, because of cards like Ashen Ghoul. Because they occasionally pop up, you know? It's actually a funny story. There was a point where Brian Kibler was playing in a Legacy tournament, and he was shuffling his graveyard because he had ran out of cards in his hand, and the judge had to come over and tell him he couldn't do that.
That's hilarious.
Because they're like, Graveyard Order matters. Looks like he discarded, yeah, the Ashen Ghoul, and I'm guessing a Bridge from below is what it looks like. Yeah, Ashen Ghoul and Bridge. I am surprised he discarded the Bridge before the Ashen Ghoul, because they go simultaneously. That, and it might not matter too much in this case, but small technical details, you know? I learned that the hard way in the semis. I fetched a basic island over a Tundra and lost that game because of that.
Yeah.
Still, I think at this point Nick is just trying to mine as much information as possible.
I hope there's a way out. I don't think there is.
He's just drawing for Nature's Claim at this point. Yep, nope, packing it in.
Okay.
Alright, game 3. Assuming Nick's going to be on the play this time. Let's see if that affects his sideboarding options at all. I wouldn't change anything if I were Gabe. And
Looks
okay,
like
so he boarded out Mongoose, Spell Snare, Sylvan Library, and Chain Lightnings. I don't know if I would board out the Chain Lightnings per se, because that can go to the face or to one of his own creatures if it needs to. But I guess Lavamancer fills that role pretty well, because it can just shoot itself.
yes.
Yeah, Ancient Grudge are definitely coming in now. He's like, yeah, get those artifacts out of there. Man, Graph Digger's Cage is just a house.
I hate that card.
You hate a lot of cards, don't you?
Just the ones that stop Dredge and Belcher.
Fair enough. See, not everyone is like you, and some people actually like playing Magic. It's a strange concept. I don't really understand it myself that much either. But and Wizards I guess realizes this, and they're like, we need to print cards to let people play Magic, because that's what a lot of people like to do. Because they obviously, I don't know, playing Magic's so overrated.
Playing Belcher, I think, is underrated. A lot of people discount that deck.
Agreed. I do think that Grafdigger's Cage honestly should be showing up more in sideboards, with Reanimator being so big. I understand it's taken a bit of a hit in popularity because Gristlebrand has had the combo target on its head recently.
Gristlebrand is a wonderful card.
Gristlebrand's just a house, and the format has realized that. And I'm not of the opinion that it needs to be banned, nor am I of the opinion that Show and Tell needs to be banned. I think the format has balanced itself out nicely. We've had different decks win every week. For example, in Star City Open in Denver this weekend, we just finally had Blue White Miracles win an event with local grinder Joe Lissette taking it down.
Oh, great.
Long time coming for him. He's had a couple of second place finishes, but no.
Southern California Legacy is really vibrant community.
Yeah. I've heard, multiple people, myself included, feel that stores like MTG DeaLS or Nightwear out in Studio City are actually harder than Star City Opens, and I've even heard Grand Prix. And
I would absolutely agree with that as far as Legacy is concerned.
Yeah, I can attest to the Star City part on Legacy. Is there, thankfully it's a very vibrant scene, and for any of you guys watching this, hopefully this will inspire you to get out and play, or to come, or if you're on the East Coast, find a friend to come visit.
Come visit us.
Seriously, that's the way to grow. It's iron sharpens iron. You play with good players, you'll get better yourself.
Great cast of characters out here.
Yeah, Gabe is definitely in the cast, and I think Nick is gonna start making his presence felt if he can keep up. If he can keep this kind of string up with Dredge.
And Nick is a quality person.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, though, if the local meta will shift to this, because there's a point where they just realize that, people don't want to lose to graveyard decks. It's actually, supposedly in the semifinals, Nick's opponent Kevin had a quote-unquote 13-card sideboard plan, but still lost anyways. Alright. Ooh, wow. Nick's sevens. Nick's got a spicy 7. That's a double Faithless Looting, Careful Study, Narcomoeba, Grave Troll, and 2 lands. Other than that Narcomoeba, that's pretty good.
Prime time right there.
Oof. But Gabe's got Delver and Double Cage, it looks like.
Ouch.
Along with Wasteland and a couple of Scalding Tarns, I think. That's turn 1 Careful Study. That's... Ugh. Man, if Nick had let off with Cabal Therapy on Cage there, that would have been just brutal.
Well, there may be opportunities for that.
Yeah, except the Cage is going to come down. Yeah, Grave Troll and Narcomoeba, that's exactly the 2 I would have pitched. Drawing 2 lands. Ugh, that was not the best draw. Tarn Cage. Probably getting a Trop. Yup. That is not the opening Nick wanted to see. Drawing a 3rd land in the form of Cephalid Coliseum. Nick knows he can't dredge here because he needs to find an out to that Cage, and he needs to find it quick.
Grudge.
No, that's a Faithless Looting.
Oh.
He's digging for that Nature's Claim.
You have a good eye on these cards. They're too small for me.
Yeah, Faithless Looting, the red Careful Study with Flashback, for whatever reason WotC decided that was safe to print. Drawing 2, looks like Stinkweed Imp and a City of Brass. Discarding an excess land. Looks like the Tarnished Citadel, which he did board in, and the Imp. Just, I don't know if I agree with that Imp discard there. I know Gabe has Cage out and he doesn't have to worry, but conventional wisdom from Dredge is that you always want to keep at least 1 Dredger in hand just in case your graveyard gets nuked to start over. And you, but okay. And it doesn't look like Nick has any of those. I understand he's got, he's got a lot more problems to worry about now. Drawing Icarid. Yeah, Faithless Looting. Still trying to find those Nature's Claims, but I think this one's all over by the crying. In my unprofessional professional opinion. Drawing Street Wraith and Undiscovered Paradise, discarding more lands, cycling Street Wraith, going to 18. Drawing Ancient Grudge. Wow, that's step 1. Oh, going to 15. Excuse me, I forgot about the pain from all the lands. That's step 1. Step 2 is resolving it.
That's going to be a challenge.
I don't know exactly if Gabe's hand has any counter spells. We can't see it at the moment. It's got a Delver. It's got Ponder. It's got that is counterspell free unless he hits one off that Ponder. That's Mongoose, Lavamancer Wasteland. No. Nick's got a clear path to resolve that Ancient Grudge. It only hits one of the cages, but that's a start.
Ancient Grudge has flashback.
Can't flashback to the cage, man.
Oh.
They just decided to print a card in Dark Ascension that entirely hoses Innistrad block. It's a lesson they learned from Affinity and Mirrodin about creating natural stopgaps to the format. They wanted to make sure that there wasn't a graveyard deck that was too overly powerful. It's actually, I believe, also the reason they reprinted Tormod's Crypt in M13, because they knew that Nihil's Spellbomb was about to rotate. Yeah. So, especially with Ravnica coming, and they know that Golgari is going to be a deck too, and there's a Wasteland for Nick's city. Nick's hands full of lands at the moment, though, so yeah, he plays a second one there. Another Mine too. He's going to stop taking pain from his lands, and here comes the Ancient Grudge, and Gabe's going to have to let this one resolve. He doesn't have any counters in his hand. It's going to be Now, we know Gabe doesn't have any counters, but Nick doesn't now. So it looks like Gabe is trying to bluff. I don't know if that will necessarily fool Nick, because I think if Gabe had a counter, he would have just snapped one off. But nope. Yep. Now Nick knows that we know, and that Gabe is not going to counter that. He's got 5 cards in his graveyard now. Looks like he's pretty close to threshold, which is relevant because he's got that Mongoose in his hand. Ooh, another Wasteland. That's going to be, 5 cards in the graveyard, and that's going to be 6 if he fires off that Waste, or if he just cracks a fetch. It's really interesting how full circle Legacy has come with Nibble Mongoose.
Oh, yeah.
Canadian Thresh, as it was called back in the day, was one of the dominant decks to beat at the time, and was one of the benchmarks, along with Goblins. And then it just fell off the map until they printed Delver of Secrets, and even then, it wasn't initially Mongoose, it was Snapcaster Mage over Mongoose, and Lavamancers in the main, running around 14 or so creatures, and then the tech just developed to back to Mongoose, because the entire point of Rug Delver is to just stick one threat and stop your opponent from doing anything else with all the disruption. A lot of times it just barely hangs on there. It just kind of claws its way to controlling the tempo of the game, and if the game lasts 1 or 2 turns longer, it would have been on the losing end, but, it's really, really interesting how well it can do with just controlling one key aspect of the game, which is tempo,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Gabe is tanking. I guess over Wasteland or fetching, because you could run Mongoose and Delver and try to press the action. But he knows that if Nick draws an out to that cage, that he is just in a world of hurt. So he's got to weigh his options here. Gabe hasn't seen Nature's Claim either, so he doesn't know that Nick is packing them, which means he could think that the only artifact removal spell Nick has is an Ancient Grudge. So he's really debating on that Wasteland.
Okay, goes for the fetch.
Goes for the Tarn instead. Yeah, is running Mongoose and Delver. That's what it looks like. Volk, yep, fixing the colors.
The camera work is phenomenal.
Yeah, thankfully, the guys at MTG DeaLS are very good with their camera. It allows the commentators to see a lot of the action, but, yep, there's Bowie. Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, doing a good job out there. Allows us to see a lot of the action, give you the best coverage possible, but we are human, we do make mistakes, and this tournament started at 1, and it is now 12 o'clock, 11:56, so almost midnight, so we've been at this for 11 hours, both of us playing this event, so cut us a bit of slack. Also,
everyone's had a long day here.
Yeah. Cephalid Coliseum comes down, and 3 mana. He's trying to flashback Faithless Looting, then realizes he can't because of the cage.
Ouch.
Yeah. Looks like he's going for the looting of Coliseum just to try to dig a little deeper. Bridge Therapy Thug. He's going to discard 2 bridges and the therapy, it looks like? Yep. 2 bridges and the therapy. Not going to do him much, though. If anything, that just gives prey for Gabe to somehow pop his bridges. I don't know if I agree with that there. Delver Trigger with his very nice sideboard divider, which... yeah, zoom in on the shot there. He was doing some naughty things to that during our match.
I don't want to know about that.
So, Bolt, second Delver Wasteland. Can't see if that Delver flipped. Do you know if it did? Nope, did not. Firing off another Wasteland.
Wow.
Yeah. Excuse me, not another. That was the Wasteland he didn't fire off last turn. Taking Nick down to 1. That's gonna give the... Yep. Gabe just showed 4, so that's definitely Thresh. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The goose is loose. Another Delver. Yep. Gabe showing he's got at least another Delver in his deck, but that's kind of standard. Future Nip, not gonna help. I could block and... oh no, it can't even block at this point. Because of the threshold. Yeesh. That's gonna be...
Double cage hand is...
pretty saucy, yeah.
Gabe is
oh, flip both. That's going to be 9 points of power crashing in. I can't see exactly what Nick is at. My guess is not high.
This game looks sealed.
11? Yeah, this is... oh, and Bolt for the win. That's it.
Wow. Good work for both players here.
That is your match. Gabe Rabin wins the MTG DeaLS Legacy Tournament. He's going to have his choice between a couple 4 and black border duels, and then the rest are going to cascade down. Top 4 is actually all getting 4 and black borders. Yeah, and you can see Gabe's pretty happy right there. But top 4 is all getting 4 and black borders, and the rest of the top 8 should be getting a couple of duels. There could be some Trops, some Bayous, some Scrublands.
Gaia's Cradle?
Yeah, the 9th and 10th. The prize for 9th and 10th is a Gaia's Cradle and a Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf might even go before some of the duels because it's worth more money, you know. This is...
these are the kind of prizes you get when 55 people shell out $25 each.
yeah, you know, it's a pretty good deal, you know, so...
a couple of random giveaways, too?
Yeah, there were actually 4 set of Noble Hierarchs and 2 Entreat the Angels that were given out at random for even just showing up to play. So, you know, if you guys are near the San Gabriel Valley or, you know, somewhat in driving distance, even if you're a couple of hours away, I go to school at UC San Diego and I would definitely commute up here, you know. You should definitely come out. So, for Danny Batterman...
Ethan Walker.
This has been the MTG DeaLS Legacy event. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.